or look better, or I want to talk to them about where we could save money on the next phase. It's just happening too fast. But I would like to have a contractor on board and ready to start on September 1st or a week earlier if we get the site a week earlier. Right now, they're telling us September 1st is when we get the site. Or is it?
Between mid-August and September 1st.
So we want to be ready to go then.
Is this contractor going to be amenable to such a significant decrease in his arrangement?
Well, what Rob's telling me is the way the contract was written, that we can add and deduct items at those unit costs. So we're only talking about deducting 10% of the contract by reducing the amount, right? Going from
well,
250
going from
to
250 down to 200 is
So
more than
yeah,
10%.
it's probably 20%
That's-
of the contract. Yeah.
That's I guess the discussion that we need to have, is that, significant enough
Yeah.
that they cause them
Yeah.
concern.
Now, the other thing we could do tonight is vote to approve the contract, provided that there can be, and I won't sign a contract until we know that, we can at least meet with the guy and get this done in the next 2 weeks. Or we can call a special meeting in 2 weeks and approve this contract. And then we can take 2 weeks and try to bring it in line. I'm okay with either of those. Ray?
Is the 249 including the $5,000? So
It's 244 without the $5,000 worth of acceleration costs,
So we need
correct?
to amend this motion before we
If
vote
we were
on
gonna
it?
vote on that motion, yes.
Or if we're going to wait and let the options fall through first.
Or we could do the 249, yeah, and see what
Yeah.
happens.
Terry?
I think the significant thing that you said, John, is that we're not signing the contract now. We're just approving it to move forward. We will not sign the contract until after these negotiations take place. Is that correct?
I can do that, and then we can sign the contract provided he's amicable to reducing the scope. I don't know where I stand on it. It might be worth it to spend $250,000, $50,000 more in this corner and try to value engineer it out of some other parts of the project, rather than just start taking plantings out. Yes, Ray?
Yeah, I just to piggyback on what you just said, people are looking forward to this opening, and they're looking forward to what they're going to see in this garden area as they enter downtown Wheaton. And it's something that we've talked about for 2 years, 3 years, and I'd hate to shortchange it up front and not do the best job we could do if it just means a minimal amount of money. So those are just my comments.
I'll amend my motion to eliminate alternate B from that proposal.
And I'll second that.
Kim?
Okay, so I have a question though. If we want you to wait to sign the contract until you discuss with the contractor, even if he's amenable to doing these things, does that need to amend? Do we need to amend the motion to do that?
I guess you would if you wanted to make sure I didn't sign the contract before you did that, yes.
I don't think you'll do that, John, so.
I'm just looking for a way the board has a little bit more time and we're not forced to make a final decision tonight and not delay the project, is what So I was fine with calling another meeting, even if it's a week from now, just to get our ducks in a row, or if you want to turn that responsibility over to Buildings and Grounds and then bring you the cost savings alternates at the next meeting, we can do that.
I'm good with that.
I'm fine with
moving
whatever you
forward.
guys want to do, to be honest with you.
I'm more comfortable with turning it over to you and then bringing us the recommendation from Buildings and Grounds when you've had a chance to look through it further.
And I'm satisfied with that.
So we would, okay. So we'll have some cost-cutting measures at the August meeting for you guys to look at. And if I think there's no way we're gonna get there, then I'm gonna call a special meeting, have you come, and I'll tell you where we're at in 2 weeks. And I won't have signed the contract yet. And then, so I guess the motion tonight is to give me the authorization to sign the contract and bring some cost savings options to you at the meeting.
Call the question.
So we have it? Do you have the motion?
You have a motion,
Do we have a
amended
second?
motion and a second, yes,
I'd second it.
Okay.
and as amended.
All right, call the roll, Mike.
Commissioner Vanderschaff.
Yes.
Commissioner Schobel.
Yes.
Commissioner Morrow.
Yes.
Commissioner Meade.
Yes.
Commissioner Hodgkinson.
Yes.
President Kelly.
Yes. Okay, new business, Item 2, bid results and recommendations, Lincoln Marsh Teams and Ropes Course Replacement Project. We need a motion.
I move to accept the Experiential Systems Inc. bid of $71,250 for upgrades to the Lincoln Marsh Teams and Ropes course.
Experiential.
Do we have a second?
Second.
Second. Discussion?
I just have one question. I think, is August the low usage month for the team's course?
Yes.
And we have that time like already blocked out, right? We
That's
didn't
right,
rent it
yes.
out for this construction period, and that period was in the bid docs.
Yes.
Any other discussion? Mike, take the roll, please.
Commissioner Hodgkinson?
Yes?
Commissioner Meade?
Yes.
Commissioner Morrow?
Yes.
Commissioner Schobel?
Yes.
Commissioner Vandershaft?
Yes.
President Kelly?
Yes. New business, item 3, bid results and recommendations on the unitary surface for the Rathje Park Playground. Mike, I understand there's a revised staff recommendation.
We'd like to recommend that the commissioners accept the base bid only from Surface America in the amount of $43,978.60 to perform the installation of the unitary playground surfacing at Rathje Playground.
What is the dollar amount, Mike?
$43,978.60.
That's, the original memo you got was recommending the alternate. Buildings and Grounds has asked staff for more information on, is it really worth that extra money? And if we wanted to add it, we could come back to you and add it by change order, but
What is it? What is that binder?
it's a different binder that's supposed to extend the life of the surface, but if I'm not mistaken, we've used the standard binder in other projects, and we've had pretty good results.
Yeah, we haven't had any issues with the surface to speak of.
So this is a newer binder, material, that's all.
Is it proven binder
Yeah.
though?
I'm also not comfortable awarding on the basis of a voluntary alternate. I'd like to award the contract based on a little bit and not voluntary alternates.
So we'll provide the Buildings and Grounds Subcommittee with a little more information about this binder and its possibilities of longevity. And if the Buildings and Grounds Committee and staff feel we should be putting it in, we can come back to the board. In the
Do
meantime,
it
we've
by
got
change order.
in the meantime, we've got a low bid that we should.
But we should award the bids based on the base bid criteria. We don't have any spelled out alternates. These are voluntary alternates, so I think we need to stay with the regular bidding criteria. All right, anybody else?
Accept the base bid from Surface America in the amount of $43,978.60 to perform the installation of unitary playground safety surfacing material at Rathje Playground.
Second.
Okay, Mike, please take the roll.
Commissioner Vandershaft,
Yes.
Commissioner Schobel,
Yes.
Commissioner Morrow,
Yes.
Commissioner Meade.
Yes.
Commissioner Hodgkinson.
Yes.
President Kelly.
Yes.
Number 4.
Okay. New business item number 4, renewal of the lease agreement with School District 89 for Scottdale Park. It is ordinance number 2013- resolution number 2013-06. I need a motion.
So move.
Second.
Okay, any questions or discussion? Mike, take the roll.
Commissioner Hodgkinson.
Yes?
Commissioner Meade.
Yes.
Commissioner Schobel.
Yes.
Commissioner Morrow.
Yes.
Commissioner Vandershaft.
Yes.
President Kelly.
Yes. New business item number 5, ordinance number 2013-04, authorizing an intergovernmental agreement between the County of DuPage, Illinois and Wheaton Park District for Cosley Zoo and Prairie Avenue parking lot permeable pavers, the water quality improvement project. I need a motion.
So move.
Second.
Okay. Any questions or discussion? Can Mike take the roll, please?
Commissioner Vandershaft.
Yes.
Commissioner Schobel.
Yes.
Commissioner Morrow.
Yes.
Commissioner Meade.
Yes.
Commissioner Hodgkinson.
Yes?
President Kelly.
Yes. New business item 6, ordinance number 2013-05, adopting prevailing wage rates to be paid to laborers, mechanics, and other workers performing construction or public work projects for the Park District. I need a motion.
So moved.
Second.
Second. Questions, discussion?
This is housekeeping?
Correct.
We do this, we have to do this every year because the new wage rates come out.
You know, we have to do this every year, but my question was, this was a really extensive report. Is this really what we always get for the prevailing wage?
Yes.
I don't recall it.
We don't pay for it every year, we just get it every year.
I think Jane's question is excellent, because I don't recall anything that extensive on a prevailing wage rate issue.
I just, unofficially, I felt like I was reading a dissertation, reading this board packet, and this was part of the reasons.
I believe that packet was somebody's master's
I feel
thesis,
that
if
once a
I'm not
month.
mistaken.
Okay.
All right, thank you. Thank you.
Okay. Mike, take the roll.
You have a question?
Oh, question, Kim?
So there's something just to be aware of, and it's gonna be for Jane and Mike here. On page 6, there are some record retention timelines spelled out here that we need to make certain get into the records retention policy. And I just want us to keep that in mind when we discuss that, yeah.
Of course.
Okay. Mike, take the roll.
Commissioner Hodgkinson,
Yes.
Commissioner Meany.
Yes.
Commissioner Morrow,
Yes.
Commissioner Schobel,
Yes.
Commissioner Vanderschaft,
Yes,
President Kelly.
Yes. The business item 7, approval to release bids for the installation of synthetic turf in the upper gym of the Central Athletic Center. I need a motion.
So moved.
Second.
Okay. Questions or discussion? Kim?
okay, so Raymond, I got some questions on this for you. So there were a couple statements that you made here that I need a little bit more detail on them. And so the comment that we can rent these fields to other local teams seemed to be a little bit in conflict that we need this indoor turf to keep up with neighboring communities. So I'm a little confused as to if there are neighboring communities that have these and there are local teams there, who would we have renting from us?
We go to other facilities, actually, to rent their facilities. So if there are other teams that just travel, because it's a big world out there, they may want to come here, but our programs will go first. We won't have, a tremendous amount of rental time.
Okay, well, that actually was part of your logic as far as why we should approve this, because we can rent it. But that wasn't quantified.
But we
as were here.
can rent it, but it's available, but you have to remember, our programs will come first.
Okay, no, I know, and so what I'm trying to understand, though, is part of your business case for wanting us to approve this is that extra revenue that would come from rentals. And I don't see that spelled out, and that's not what I'm hearing from you
Okay.
tonight.
Let me get Brad Keane, who's our athletic director,
Okay.
who's the expert on it.
Okay, basically, a lot of towns around us do not have synthetic turf fields, and when we try to go rent it for like the Wheaton Wings and like the other local soccer clubs like Copian and Soccers and Synergy, they're trying to find the same thing. They're going to Aurora, they're going to Westmont, they're going to the McCook over there by Bridgeview to rent these things. So there is a big need to have that here at the Wheaton Park District. For the Wheaton Wings, we would charge them a rate to use it for the turf field. Normally, they would be in a gym facility where it's about $40 per hour to rent at the Central Athletic Center. We would charge them the difference to get that extra a playable surface to meet their needs to have a better playing surface.
Is that the $71 rate?
The $71 rate would be for any other local resident fee. The other fee for the Wheaton Wings would be $35 that it's above the $40. So we would offset that to give the Wheaton Wings, because they normally, for their training for the winter, get to use the gym as part of their fee. So this is above and beyond. So if they wanted to use the turf field, they would pay that extra money.
Okay, but you don't have any idea on the number of rental hours we would get from non-Park District programs or anything around those figures?
Well, basically, when we were looking at other towns, We could be renting to 11 o'clock at night. So if our program starts at 4:30 and then goes to 9 o'clock, we can still rent from 9 to 11 o'clock at night. On Saturdays, after our in-house program is over, about 6 o'clock, we could rent from 6 to 11 o'clock at night. And then on Sunday, if our program isn't using it, that time we will also be able to rent to generate additional revenue.
And do you think all those hours would be filled?
Oh, yes, definitely. Because when we're trying to get into players indoor lacrosse in Naperville, the only thing they have available is on a Sunday night after 10 o'clock at night.
Okay. So my other question is then, so this will take up all of your budget, or most of it. If we go with this option, you'll have $5,000 or $6,000 left. Was this all you had wanted to do with this budget?
For this particular, you're talking about the cost.
Yeah, so it's gonna be 55,000.
We would basically go out to bid.
No, she's not, you collected $55,000 in your soccer $10 per player fee over the past 3 years. Kim's asking you, are you comfortable spending your whole 3 years savings?
Oh, definitely, yes.
Definitely.
Because we're gonna continue.
We're gonna grow it again by 12,000 at the end of this year.
Okay. Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
Mark?
The way I see it, the objective really is that you're competing against private enterprise, correct? That are-
Correct.
All right.
But we're also meeting our needs where.
Right, locally,
Because
right.
the ball rolls way too quick on a tile or wood floor.
Yeah, I get that, all right.
Well, and you're allowing our residents